Hey, we're back. It's more Age of Empires here. Glad you could join me. We got a hell of a match for you. It's me playing as the Abbasid versus my opponent Dra playing as the Rus. We had a nice chat before the game. We basically said good luck, have fun, and then he said same to you if you don't play English. And that's honestly how it's been feeling. Like the ranked ladder is just filled with English players. So it was kind of nice to have a matchup not involving the English here. Though against the Rus, you gotta try and snipe these animals all over the map. We have to get rid of them before he does, because he's gonna get that Rus bounty. Every time he kills a animal, he's gonna get a small gold bounty, and it'll also pile up this like bounty amount, and it'll increase the gathering rate of his villagers. So we really want to snipe down all the animals. So if we see wolves, we'll attack those. If we see deer, we're definitely going to target those down. In fact, there we go. There's a little deer hunt that we'll clean up. Well, it looks like, oh, his own scout is here. Well, he's attacking my scout, and I'm just going to leave. I'll take the deer, or the sheep that was there. Little wolf, we could probably target that down. And we're just kind of looking over the map. Okay, and there's another deer hunt. Interesting. We can take that out, hopefully. And it's also important to make note of where the boar locations are on the map, because spare deer there. Because he's also going to go for these boar. They're worth a lot of bounty, and they're just so much food. I've seen a lot of Rus players recently get up 300 stone really quickly and then fast expand with their town center. So they basically build another town center on top of the boar. That way 8 villagers can gather from the boar. If they're attacked, they can instantly retreat into a town center, and the town center can just start producing villagers. I've noticed that a lot of my opponents have just been doing their own thing and not really harassing me or making units. Like, people have been really playing an economic game, and I suspect as much with this Rus player. So I've gotten greedier about my resources that are available. So I'm actually already expanding to this berry patch that's up forward here. Like, we've already been collecting from this one, and now we're going to collect from this forward berry patch, because I think my opponent's going to take a defensive posture and probably go for this boar on the map, or maybe this boar. I've even got a scout watching it. I'm going to send this scout down to this boar to take a look at it. There's his 2 scouts running around. We did go with a stables. I figure it's a good thing to prevent harassment. Yep, look at that. We're already scaring off the scouts. And right here, it looks like we've got villagers working on the boar. He also put down an archery range near here. I was very happy to see that. Rus often just make archers because they have so much bonus wood coming in. So now I'm just going to do this dance with my horsemen over here. I'm going to keep rallying horsemen to this area, probably to this stealth forest, and we're going to take out whatever archers we see. We do bonus damage to them, and then we're going to harass his villagers whenever we can. And the more we can get his villagers to go in and out, the better. So we're just going to keep coming in, going for wounded villagers, and then running for it. I'm okay with losing my horsemen here, because if we look at income per minute, this is basically his only food source, and he's not getting anything out of it. His income for food is really low. Yeah, I'm losing a horseman or 2, but he has to do this micro game with me, and I'm happy to play it, because I'm just going to be spamming villagers out and just trying to get more and more food. And of course, we'll defend our berries, but unfortunately, he brought a early night. Rus have access to early nights. So now I'm a little nervous. I can't do much about this wooden fortress and these villagers. I really want to secure these berries. Oh, I don't want to lose that villager. Whatever. If this night is just going to be a hassle, I'll make a barracks and just retreat my villagers to these berries. I like that I at least have these berries available, because we can just retreat back. And now we're just trying to fight his knight with my horsemen, but we're still keeping our horsemen over here because, yeah, we want to watch these villagers. Look, they're still not gathering. Every time they're gathering, his income per minute for food jumps up, and whenever they're not gathering, they just wait. If his hunting cabin had been next to the wooden fortress, it would have been a lot more convenient for him, but instead the villagers want to go to the right to deposit the food here. But then if they get under attack, they have to retreat to this tower. Okay, he's smart and kept another early knight here. Really want to snipe that low health villager there. Perfect, we got him. And now we're just gonna run for it. Oh, we lose the horse and my sheep ends up right next to his hunting cabin. Not good, but that's okay. I was hoping to try something different this time around, something different from my normal build. So this time I actually went Culture Wing first and got Preservation of Knowledge, and now we're gonna go Trade Wing. So we're hoping to put down a marketplace in the near future and then start producing cheap traders. I don't think I've really talked about this while playing as the Abbasid, but they do have a really strong trade element to them. So traders are produced at the market, and they have to go to friendly or neutral markets. In a one-on-one game, that means these neutral markets. And you really want to build your marketplace either in your base, so that way your traders are safe as they make the journey from your base down to the neutral market, or you put your market. Ooh, good raid from his knights. Looks like he grabs a villager there. Or you put your marketplace very far away, like maybe in this corner or this corner, and you have them travel the full distance of the map all the way to this market, because the gold amount that the traders bring in is dependent on how long the journey was for them. So there, we make it up to the Castle Age, and we're gonna aggressively gather stone while we can, really hoping his knights don't show up and kill off these villagers. But fortunately, we've got some camel archers, and we're starting to build up a good mass of spearmen. Oh, shame I lost the camel archer there. But yeah, you can see his early knights are starting to take a lot of damage from my spearmen. It looks like we got his scouts, actually. Yeah, he forgot about this scout. Ooh, right when he remembers. We're parked on top of that other boar because we really don't want him going for this other one. Now we see a large ball of archers. That's pretty scary. We're gonna need horsemen to deal with them. Fortunately, we've got two up here, kind of watching over this forward base that I'm making. And I do have some units over here, but we're worried about these archers. We're worried about these knights. And I really need these villagers to stay alive and mine that stone. But now we're gonna do kind of some tower creep. We're gonna start building a outpost near his wood line. Looks like he pulls villagers, but I put a spring all emplacement on this outpost, so it's gonna one-shot these villagers that come to fight. Oof, yeah, that's a dead villager. Ooh, another dead villager. And we'll send the horsemen in to discourage them. So he pulled a lot of villagers there. But now you can just retreat them into this outpost. Back at my base, he decided to not commit with those knights and archers. Not sure why. Maybe he knew that I was starting to make these Castle Age units. I don't think his early knights are going to stand much of a chance against these lancers. I mean, these lancers are so strong. Look at them, 230 health with 36 damage. If I can look at the stats of those early knights, they're just not as good. They're pretty subpar. So now I'm going to do my strategy. I'm going to send my army and a bunch of villagers out up to this point here. And we are going to build a castle, or a keep, right in this gap. The idea is that we will deny all of this wood, because pretty much all of his wood line is right here. And we'll also research medical centers, so keeps will heal my units nearby. We're also going to start to produce traders from the market. Yep, there they go. they're cheaper for us. The Abbasid gets cheaper traders. And then we've researched something where we will get additional resources every time a caravan deposits its gold. I'm probably going to switch this to wood. We'll probably see that shortly. Keep is halfway up. It's a little slow to build, but I like that balance change. So we'll switch this to wood, and then suddenly we'll be getting a large amount of wood and gold. This will switch to wood, and then we will just be able to build all of the siege units we could ever want. We're going to use this defensive sort of defensive area to keep our siege weapons secure. So we knock out like 3 villagers right there. We're starting to attack this market, and I figure these villagers here can just chop wood. Food is going to be a very difficult thing for me to gather right now. I come forward, I find the Abbey of Trinity. Opponent is already up to the 3rd age. We're looking for exposed villagers. This arrow fire from this town center is not doing much of anything. Yeah, we're engaging. That's 2 more villagers there. We're getting good villager kills. I know we've spotted a 2nd town center from my opponents, so we definitely need to get kills. It's unfortunate that we're losing 1 or 2 villagers down here. Every villager loss for me is really painful. That said, I don't think he's discovered our traders, and they are starting to move across the map, so that's good. Yes, we've switched the resource toggle to wood, and we're beginning to build our siege units. We've got a battering ram, and the knights that we've made are just tearing up his base. He's only got level 1 spearmen. He hasn't even upgraded them, so these knights are incredibly effective. They can even take on these man-at-arms. Like, these man-at-arms just do not hold up to these knights. But really, I'm looking around the map. I want to find where he's gathering resources, so these knights are going to check some of these resource clusters around here. And yeah, we'll do battle with any of his units that we happen to spot. But yeah, we've sent our ram in, and it's now working away at some houses, and it looks like we've gathered up enough resources to make a mangonel as well. We're just going to rally units across the map. It's pretty much just 1 stable, 1 archery range, 1 barracks, and a siege workshop. Found his units. They're making rams. That was interesting. Maybe he was planning on attacking the keep. Oh, and this lancer is so injured. I'd love to see him get back under this keep, because hopefully we are, researching medical centers. Looks like I'm keeping a few spearmen back in case he comes forward with lancers. Ooh, great shot from that mangonel. So now we're mostly destroying just like bits of infrastructure, houses and whatnot. I'd really like to see me go for this 2nd town center. It doesn't actually have all that much health, and I don't think you can really defend it. The problem is I seem to be focused elsewhere. Really, this northern area is where I want to push forward, and I'm glad I started building this outpost, but I really need to send rams up here. And now it looks like the medical centers are done, so that injured lancer is now getting patched up along with this injured lancer. Really like seeing that. Even this battering ram that was damaged previously is getting healed up. It's cool that siege units also get healed by the medical centers. Looks like I'm house blocked. Really need to get down a house. Okay, looks like I'm solving that issue. He's starting to cart some relics back to his base. Now, the damage that we were doing seems to have subsided. We were getting a lot of kills with our lancers earlier, but they got really injured, and now we're just trying to take care of them and make sure they don't die out. But we're not getting as many villager kills as before. We are getting a lot of houses. He does sort of a defensive conversion here to sort of zone out my lancers. But we'll just send them in, and nice. Okay, there's a battering ram, which will hopefully target this town center. Starting to lose battering rams to his knights. That's when I want the mangonels to take shots. We also are building a springald. We saw some of his battering rams, and we're sure that he's eventually going to build springalds as well. These Lancers I really want to keep alive. If I can just move them a little further back, they'll all just start to heal up, which is great. Really want to preserve the hit points that are on these units. That small force of mine, I think, found, yeah, a resource gathering location, and then of course this is his boar spot still. Our number of traders is starting to increase. It looks like we are at 4 traders, and it looks like we're going up to 8. Every time one of these traders makes it back home, I'm receiving 169 gold and 42 wood. That's a huge amount of resources. Oh, I'm gonna lose this battering ram, but it looks like I've got some units sort of trying to take out his villagers here. Oh, the mangonel shot, nice. Would have really loved to see this mangonel taking shots when they were going after the ram. But we're sending in another ram. It looks like I'm finally remembering, oh, this is probably the town center we should go for. It's only got 2,400 health, whereas this one has, this one has way more. Oh, battered ram's getting burned down again. Would love to see the mangonel take shots at the... Oh, looks like we whiffed there. And now he's got a trebuchet. He's going to start taking out my keep. Fortunately, we've got the springald, so we'll just use that to fire at the trebuchet. And yeah, the mangonel is going to try and target down these villagers. Yes, that's a good shot right there. The mangonels are just so good for discouraging large masses of units from attacking my battering rams. Also, if he sends out archers, we'll just shoot mangonel shots at them. Mass archers are not the answer for him. He needs springalds, trebuchets. He also needs things like crossbowmen, but I just don't think he has it. But yeah, we're just taking shots at this way too healthy town center. Really want to see us go for this injured one down here. Or up here, I should say. If anything gets injured, we just retreat it back to the keep. You can see I'm getting a lot of cost effectiveness out of my units. If this man-at-arms makes it back... Oh, he's using his trebuchets to target down my siege units. It's painful. Also, he has built a keep just outside of my base, so we're kind of doing a similar thing here. He's trying to... I'm not sure about his keep position, though. I really like mine because it's wedged in all these trees, and it's got this wall for cover. His is just sort of tickling this mining camp, which I've already mined the stone out. It'll eventually start attacking the House of Wisdom, but I don't know. It's not a great spot. Good, we got villagers down here gathering. Let's check our trader count. Yeah, we're up to 8. Things are kind of slowing down here. Again, I'm going after this big town center. It's got 2.5 times more hit points as this one, and it's effectively the same structure. So I don't know why I'm going for it. The keep is going down. Should probably cancel this boiling oil because I don't think I can do anything about his trebuchets. Looks like getting some more kills here. Yeah, villagers just kind of wandering back and forth. This knight is getting great trades with these archers. This is such a cost-effective fight right here. We're getting so many archers. Oh, and there's tons of villagers over here. Oh, get that villager. There we go. Yeah, who cares about the archer? Wow. I was a little nervous about this attack. It didn't feel like I was getting enough villager kills or doing enough damage, but now that I'm seeing the battle in detail, it really was a big cleanup. Just look at how many villagers we're taking out. The keep is down, and it's feeling like this siege is over. Because now my units are no longer getting healed. We're dealing with more and more of his units. It's starting to just not feel as good to stream units across the map. And we really need to deal with all of these keeps that are popping up. He's also building towers. Yeah, these keeps are annoying. Fortunately, we do have a trebuchet. We're just going to use it to take out the keeps. It's just going to work slowly at taking them out. But yeah, we should probably retreat with these units. Maybe we could get that trebuchet, but I'm realizing how few units I have, and I think I'm just going to gather up these forces and try to retreat down south. He's got a force of infantry right here. Little nervous about this. They could easily target down the trebuchet. Fortunately, I bring my screen over here and see what's happening. So I order all of my units on top of these infantry. And with my lancers, that's a good move. Also, we're going to retreat it down into this wood line where my villagers can repair it while it's getting burned. So you can see now that it's kind of wiggling in the wood line, his units aren't really getting a good angle of attack on it, and he doesn't see the villagers repairing it. So all of my units are just taking out his infantry. You can see he's now down to maybe just a few man-at-arms, and this crossbowman is doing great work against these man-at-arms. Every shot is doing a huge amount of damage. And there you go. That's a trebuchet saved, and man do we need it, because he is attacking with these wooden fortresses and these keeps. It's nasty. Over here, I tried to retreat my units, but he sent more of his military after me, and so it's probably going to be a pretty even trade here. But, yeah, here come more reinforcements. Over here, I'm using a few of my infantry to... Oh, we're taking out more villagers. That's what I like to see. It only takes a handful of units to do big economic damage. So never forget to just send small groups around the map. Yep. These two lancers managed to get maybe a few villagers down here, and you're always unveiling new information. We're being desperate. I mean, we need food. Like I mentioned earlier, we're incredibly low on food. We don't have really any farms. Okay, we have a few farms, and we just have no way of getting additional food. We're getting these berries. We'd like to get at these deer that are back here, but there's keeps in the way. We can't hunt boar because we're Abbasid, so we're gathering up these deer up here. And I'd really like to get that horticulture upgrade because I need that food income. We take care of the rams that were attacking my town center, but these keeps are still very pesky. At least the trebuchet is just firing away. I need to get these villagers back to work. Must have a misrally there. Would probably like to get some more stone. Maybe start gathering from over here. And I think that's one keep down. Lost a lot of houses up here due to the keep just firing at my buildings. And this barracks, I don't know how it's alive. But now we're just gonna wheel the trebuchet onto this wooden fortress, and then we'll move on to the keep. Up here, he sent some forces in to try and discourage my villagers, and this is painful because I don't really have anywhere to get food. So I'm actually gonna send a small force up this way to deal with it because we need food. If it's food, I'll defend it. As for the caravans, we're up to a dozen traders now, dropping off big amounts of gold and a little bit of wood. And we're just going to keep adding on traders. He still hasn't seemed to really notice that we're doing this trading. So that's a lot of income for us. If we check income per minute, we're way up in gold. We are gathering stone. I don't think our opponent is. Opponent's a little ahead in wood and way ahead in food. Like I said, we're really suffering for food right now. It's just a natural consequence of spending so much wood on siege units and just not making the transition to farms. Additionally, we didn't go the economic wing, so we don't have agriculture. We don't have access to this. So we don't have the improved gathering rate from our farms. Although we don't even have farms. I mean, we've got a handful. Okay, good, we're adding more in. But we really need food locations. I think I'm actually buying a little bit of food from the market. Or at least I will soon. It's not a bad idea to spend gold at the, yeah, in fact, I might do it right now. I'd love to see me buy some food. I have so much gold. Let's just buy some wood. Yeah, that was it right there. We just bought some from the market. Yeah, but it's worth it. We need the wood and food to make units. He's sieging down the House of Wisdom. This is a tanky building. It gets more and more health as you add wings to it, but he's got two trebuchets. He's got the right idea. Fortunately, we have a springald that we're going to use to target down the trebuchets, and I've realized how scary this is. I'm bringing my units back home, and we've got more springalds, mangonels, and these cavalry do great work. Yeah, great, he's got this keep, but I'm not that scared of it. I'm still willing to send units under it to destroy these trebuchets. He did bring a springald forward. He's using that to snipe my springald. Yep, there it is. But I think I've got the forces to deal with what he's got here. This mangonel's doing at least a little bit of work on these clumped units here. Yeah, and the springald taking them out. Now we just need to get rid of these villagers that are repairing the keep. There we go. And I wisely send my lancers to the right and then up. We're gonna try and take out any reinforcing units he has. And these are still level 1 spearmen. They are not good versus my cavalry. I mean, I know they get bonus attacks, but he needs to upgrade them. These are the level 3 upgrade veteran spearmen. He's got level 1. This keep is not long for this world. Yeah, my trebuchets finally got it burning. In terms of the religious game, I just saw a monk wielding a relic. I think I was going to use it offensively if need be. But he's going to return that to the to the mosque. And it looks like there's one more relic over here. I don't see any more on the map, so I'm going to assume that my opponent with his warrior monks grabbed 3 and tossed them into the Abbey of the Trinity. That's all it can hold. It can only hold 3. If I were my opponent, I would attack these walls. Like I said, it's so annoying getting that like attack ping. So I'd love to see my opponent do that. We've gotten, oh, okay. We've had this second town center for a while. I don't know why I thought it was new, but yeah, we've been on 2 town centers for a decent amount. Ooh, archers finding my berry operation down here. I'm hoping they don't move on and find my traders. We're still making traders. We're up to 18 traders and we're going up to 22. You can see from our income, wood is about even, stone is about even. I'm way ahead in gold. He's pretty ahead in food. So the question is, if I'm ahead in gold, what can I do with it? Well, the answer is we can make really expensive units. So we're going to be making lots of knights. We're going to be making lots of siege units. And we can also grab as many upgrades as we want. We have that preservation of knowledge upgrade. So we should really be cranking out upgrades from our blacksmiths. And it looks like that's what I'm doing. I'm getting some of the level 2 upgrades. That's good. We're coming forward. We noticed he was still rallying units towards my base. We're going to keep raiding with these lancers. He needs to upgrade his spearmen or he's just never going to get anything done. So it's nice we can just move around. We're seeing still many barracks, so I'd like to see myself get more and more crossbowmen. And let's take a look at my military production, because it's pretty thin. It's pretty much just, maybe 1 barracks, because this one burned down actually, 2 siege workshops, 2 stables, and an archery range. Okay, we've gotten another barracks back here, but we really want to see more military production coming out. That said, I'm spending pretty well. I've got the big bank of gold. Ooh, nice. That's a 3rd town center for my opponent. He's really trying to play a macro game. I'm just going to target down some villagers while I'm here. Actually, we're going to try to run. Couldn't really do much there. Down here, looks like we're finding mangonels. These crossbowmen don't have much of a chance. Of course, over here, we're probably finding some villagers. We're at least discouraging him from going out on the map. We're starting to contain him into the corner, which is good, because we are putting up more and more keeps. I like these keeps because they heal. Can't forget that. And they'll secure these sacred sites, which, yeah, gives us more gold income, which isn't necessary, but the more gold, the better. I'll take it. We can always just trade it at the marketplace. In fact, currently we don't have anyone mining gold. I think we knocked out the last gold deposit, and I don't need gold, so why rush to the next gold deposit? Securing these 2 sacred sites, perfect. This last one's going to be tricky. I'm worried that he's put up more defenses around here after this boar hunt. Really, it's a question of, does he have this corner secured, or is it vulnerable? So I need to find that out. I'm probably going to send some cavalry or some scouts. Nice, glad to see I'm still making scouts. Would love to have them explore this area of the map. I'm even having some lancers burn down his buildings from before. Sending in the occasional lancer just to see what we can get. I think I'm just I'll just shift click a bunch of villagers. It's really convenient. You'll get tons of villager kills. It impacts his economy, and it's way better than just sending this knight in to attack whatever. Cool. Sent some villagers forward because I think we were going to try and secure this side of the map, but unfortunately we run into his entire army. The villagers just get slaughtered, and this small army of mine is going to get knocked out too. But we do get a little army preview. It's infantry and cavalry, and then a bunch of siege units. It's just hardened spearmen. He needs to get his level 3 upgrade. And the nice part is this group of units can't deal with keeps. So we just need to stay near the keep and we should be okay. It's also good we've got all this vision from this scout, although I think he's... Oof. We see an opportunity to maybe deal some damage, and yeah, one of our spring alts snipes a mangonel, but now his spring alts are coming forward. I think that this is just way too many units, so I retreat back. I've got my own mangonels, so if he wants to come forward, we'll take shots as well. The keep will heal my units if they're injured. They just need to come back. Yeah, even this trebuchet is getting patched up. Though the keep is taking shots from the trebuchets. I really don't want to lose this keep, so I think I'm going to have to force the issue here in a moment. Opponent does secure this sacred site. Good, things are getting healed up. These units just need to come a little forward. Okay, good. I have a villager repairing the keep. Excellent. I know his army's right here. I'm gathering up my forces, and I decide, well, I'll send lancers into his base, because I don't think they're going to do anything against his big ball of infantry. He's got a lot of spearmen in his army, so forget about the cavalry. We'll just send them out to do harassment. If he wants to slow siege this keep, go for it, but I'm going to draw his forces back into his base. And you can see he actually sent a lot of his knights out. Yeah, we're finding villagers. Perfect. And now we're just going to go deeper. He sent a lot of his knights out, so I decide, now's our chance. Let's move forward. He's got mangonels. Those are painful against my man-at-arms, but we've got our own mangonels. We'll engage with him if we need to. And our crossbowmen are doing good work as well. Now we're sending the spring alts forward, because we're going to try and trade with his. And at the same time, we'll use our mangonels to fire. Springald War is finished up. I don't see any more spring alts for him, so he has to retreat. And he's losing everything. He just did not micro with the spring alts, and now his knights show up because he cleaned up my knights back in his base. But what can he do? I'm gonna move the spring alts forward to take out the mangonels and to put them with my units, because now my spearmen are gonna start engaging with his knights. And really, it's these crossbowmen that are doing such good work. He has no ranged units, so as long as these stay alive, we're just cutting down his forces. Look at how many crossbowmen there are. So I'll just maybe stutter step with them, and yeah, retreat into my mangonels, which I've continued to produce. If I see all this infantry, I'm just gonna keep making them. That was a huge victory. I think the knights bought me time. The keep discouraged him from coming forward. And this many mangonels right after he lost the Springald War, it was just too perfect. Now we've brought a trebuchet forward, and we're going to start working on some of his landmarks. Yeah, the mangonels are really tearing him up, but I want to keep these mangonels safe. So I'm going to probably bring some villagers forward, and we're probably going to box in this area. I'm trying to get better about protecting my siege units from just like a huge mass of infantry or particularly cavalry just running in and destroying them. Opponent makes it to the Imperial Age. Fortunately, we are aging up. We're aging up with the economic wing. Our trade route now has 30 traders on it. Just look at them going back and forth. Each of them hauling in 169 gold and 42 wood. When we make it to the Imperial Age, we'll also be able to get spice roads, which will increase the gold income from traders. So we are just going to be rolling in money. We already are. My income for gold is around 3,000. I can make all the expensive units I want, and when we hit the Imperial Age, we can grab every upgrade imaginable. There should not be a single upgrade that I don't have. We'll just get everything. We'll get all the siege unit upgrades. We'll get everything. And we'll definitely get all of the unit upgrades. We'll get Imperial upgraded Lancers, Imperial upgraded crossbowmen, and we'll probably spam out expensive gold units like hand cannoneers. We knocked down the Golden Gate, pretty good, and now we're starting to deal damage to his farm economy. You can see what I mean about the boxing in. I put this wall on the side, so there's only one place really where his cavalry can come in, and it's through this little gap here, which is great. You want all of his units to get just kind of clustered in here. Oh, that has so many farms going down. These mangonels are great against farms. You can see I'm really good about spending my resources. It looks like I spent a lot of gold. Yeah, I basically got all those upgrades I was talking about, and we're queuing up a ton of expensive units, bombards, culverins, and hand cannoneers. Yeah, we're both in the Imperial Age, but I think I've hit it with a much better pacing. So here come the cavalry. You can see they're all wedging into this gap. They're clumping a lot, and they're running into more and more of my units. They're able to take out one of the mangonels, but that's it. By the time they get in here, things start to get messy. He does have 2 spring alts, 3 spring alts in the back. They're dealing great damage because my spring alt is not engaging with theirs. He's losing units though these mangonels really hurt. We need to get through this gap and start attacking his units. And this spring alt needs to start trading. No, target the spring alts. Oh, he's up to 4 spring alts. Here come the hand cannoneers. And I think in terms of military production, we're still pretty limited. Oh, okay, we've expanded a little bit. We've put down more archery ranges, maybe another barracks, but we're still pretty low on unit production. But we've been spending pretty well. I think that's a consequence of having units build, ouch, building siege units in the field and just making tons of expensive units. So now I have culverins out. These are really strong anti-siege units. You can see one shot, they destroy a spring alt. So they'll trade more favorably with his spring alts. This bombard got really injured, but I'll just retreat it to this keep down here to get patched up. Whenever I see an expensive unit that needs to be healed up, I'll just retreat it down to this keep. You can see once it gets within range, yeah, it's starting to get patched up. Hand cannoneers are doing good work. They deal 35 damage. It's just a big burst of damage. Oof. Losing all my siege, but that's okay. We seem to be winning with the units. Would love to get my archers upgraded. Looks like yes, I'm getting the veterancy and the compound bows, so they will get better. And you can see these hand cannoneers actually do good damage versus mangonels. The mangonels have 8 ranged armor, but who cares when you're dealing 35 with your hand cannoneers? Yeah, they almost took them all out. Though really these culverin are the key to taking out his siege units. I use the bombard to target his mangonel, but look at the culverin rip through these spring alts. Just one shot, one kill. Yeah, he's got 4 spring alts, but oof. Every time this culverin fires, we're getting a spring alt kill. And we're continuing to make mangonels. Once he loses his spring alts, my mangonels become powerful. Oof. He's wisely making horsemen. They're really good against siege units. You can just burn them down really quickly. This might be another mangonel to put under the keep to get patched up. There's nothing quite like retreating a few units and then finding out that your front line is holding because you just can't push back into these units. It's a lot of... he's finally got his veteran spearmen, but they're in range of the keep now, which he is starting to siege down with this trebuchet, but yeah, my units are just continuing to rally. We're getting all kinds of upgrades. We've gotten the tithe barns now. I think, yeah, we should probably start on these level 3 upgrades because we have so much gold. Yeah, we're finally spending it. It's just more hand cannoneers. And the production's fairly inefficient. I mean, no, actually, it's not bad. I have a decent amount of production facilities. I can make lots of ranged units. And the fact that I have 2 siege workshops is great. Okay, it looks like, yeah, here's a bunch of forward military production. And on the back of all of this, I built a ram down here and used this mangonel, the ram, and a small group of units right here to tear down what he had near the boar, put up a keep near this sacred site, and now we're on all 3 of the sacred sites. So now he has to do something or he's going to lose the game due to a sacred victory for me. We're pushing even more forward. He's making stealthily. They're going up against my hand cannoneers. They're just a plain better hand cannoneer, but I'm hoping I can overwhelm him with numbers. Plus, if he keeps making stealthily, we'll keep making mangonels. Yeah, just look at them gunning down my units. Oof, it's quite a trade up here. He's making lots of these elite horsemen, which is good. Oof. This is a hell of a battle. I should probably retreat these hand cannoneers. Yeah, they can meet back up with this army. The mangonels are here. They're ready to fight. He does have a lot of spring alts back here, and as the roost, they've probably got that extended range to them. But I've had my culverin pretty much shift queue all of his spring alts. There they go. These culverin are just so good. All of his siege units are gone. Yeah, he's got a massive stealthily, but now I've got the mangonel coming forward. He has to retreat when he sees the mangonel shots landing. And in fact, he taps out. It was a hell of a match. Long, and I liked that I tried out a new strategy with the trading caravans. The gold was just so powerful, though that food dip in the middle was very scary. I really need to get that food production up right after I make it to the Castle Age. Anyway, hope you can make it for the next game, and thanks for tuning in.